Welcome to the Perspective Podcast. Josue here. As you guys probably already know, I'm a fellow believer from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I attended the Oral Roberts University, and I preach at times, but let's not get into that. And to my left here, we have Mr. Chase Brown. He's from Texas as well. He went to the University of North Texas. He's an inspiring philanthropic creative, and it's 2021. We're in February. He still loves very long walks on the beach. Why that is, I have no idea. But Chase Brown, how you doing today?
Goodness, I'm doing good, bro.
That was one of my best work. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was. But just wondering, does anyone ever call you the mustard pastor?
Not yet, but this is very on brand with the Butterman.
Yeah,
It's
man.
very on brand.
That's a good thought. But I'm doing well. It's the middle of the week, and it's been an interesting week so far.
Yeah.
But I'm doing well. We got new table in for the townhome, so slowly getting improvements, slowly furnishing this place.
Yes, sir.
To not look so much like
College dorm.
Yeah, college. That's actually a good thought.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man, doing well. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's Wednesday, so I missed Taco Tuesday. So I'm hoping to possibly get tacos after this.
Okay.
One of my favorite taco spots in the area. I can't really reveal where my spot is, but yeah, I'll make sure to do that.
All right. So you can't. Are you gonna support them, or like you gonna give them a shout
support
out?
local small
or
businesses.
just no free shout outs?
I'm gonna give them a shout out. The issue is I just don't know the name of the place, so I can't really.
All right, we gonna put it in the video. Then.
Yeah, we'll put it in the video, and you guys go check it out. Let me know.
Support small business.
So they can give me a discount, and yes, make sure you support small businesses. But anyway, so back to the programming. As you guys probably already know, whenever we have these podcasts, we try to bring on special guests, and today we've brought you guys a very special guest, a man that God has His hand upon, and is using him in various ways. A creative leader in the community, and we're just very privileged to have such a stylish, fashionable,
For real.
fit game crazy brother with us today. Jeremiah, how you doing?
Man, fellas, that's an amazing intro right there.
That was some of my best work. Yeah.
Thank you for that. But I'm blessed and honored to be here, man. I just want to shout you guys out for all that you guys are doing. Y'all doing amazing things. You probably hear it every day, but just want to say an echo, right? Yeah. And I'm with you, bro. We got to make Taco Tuesday, Taco Thursday.
Taco Thursday too, yeah.
I'm kind of feeding tacos right now. It's Wednesday, but tomorrow's Thursday, so yeah, let's make that a thing.
Why not, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why is Tuesday that special?
Why is Tuesday
special?
Why not? Like, let's do it. So
Thursday's
get that going.
Thursday is actually my favorite day of the week, but that's another conversation.
No, it's actually interesting. What's your favorite day of the week?
I mean,
I know I put you on the spot, but
okay, we can't choose weekend, I'm assuming?
No.
This is going to be such a basic answer, but I guess Friday. Although it's just like, I get so tired. Well, so here's the thing. I look forward to going to bed early Fridays. That is I guess some young people can call that a hot take. Because it's just like, I am out. Like, how you have game nights until 1 a.m. on Fridays, bro?
3.
It is, okay.
3.
Actually, 5:30 probably.
It was pretty
Or
late,
that was maybe a Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you just ridiculous with your energy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. And this dude, I don't think this has been said on the podcast before. No coffee.
No coffee. Wow.
I don't like coffee.
It's not my thing. Obviously, you got some right there.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he's staying up until like 5 a.m. with no coffee and I'm in bed by 8:30, I'm just amazing. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. I don't know how that happens. If I was to pick a day for me, maybe Thursday as well. I feel like Thursdays just gets you right before the weekend, I guess.
Man,
I don't know.
That's why for me, I like anticipation, right?
Yeah.
So I think Thursday's an anticipation for the weekend. So and it kind of reminds me of my college days, right?
Yeah.
Because
bro, that's what I feel you there. Thursday class is done.
Yeah.
And Friday is just a day off.
What was going on in college? So welcome to the Perspective Podcast. So man, tell us a little bit about yourself. As we like to say, where your people from. Just give us a little bit about your background.
Man, I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, so born and raised here.
Yeah.
I'm Nigerian. My family's from Nigeria.
Let's go.
Shout out to Niger.
Shout out to them.
Right. I'm the creative director and founder of Elion. Clothing brand out here in Dallas, and I'm also a co-founder of Two or More, a men's group out here in Dallas, right? So my heart really is into like fashion, bringing people together, and just trying to push the culture forward. Really, yeah, that's my heart.
Yeah, and I know before you kind of mentioned something that I think is important for all of us because we've all, we're already diving deep into that conversation. Freshman year of high school, I remember my brother went to the store. He bought me 5 pair of a 5 pair of shirts. One was like blue, green, every color imaginable. Bought me some Dickies, and I had some shoes from Walmart.
Yeah.
I was ready for the day. So tell me a little bit about just that process of, getting dressed, because you mentioned, you were telling a story about back in high school.
Man, so in high school, you had to come fresh.
You did.
Right, or you'll get clowned, right, on the bus. So I'm like, I didn't want to get clowned. I had to come fresh, like, to the T. But also one thing I love about fashion is your outfit can speak for you without you even have to speak for yourself, right? Okay. So you could just walk into the room with confidence because of how well you're dressed, right?
Yeah.
And I love that. I love fashion, be able to do that with fashion, yeah. But
that's a good thought, because I was over here. I guess I didn't learn that lesson until college. I was a little late to the game. But in college, which is still to your disbelief a little bit, I started to become a sneakerhead a little bit.
I heard about
and started
this.
to be like, okay, like this whole like somewhat getting like matching colors or like a color scheme kind of thing, and not just like throwing random things together. Like, okay, like maybe I get it now. And I shouldn't just wear Nike shorts every day. like they're good every now and then, but
real comfortable.
Not every day.
They are very comfortable, yeah.
Bro, it was amazing. But so props to you for learning that lesson early.
Yeah.
But so I guess something, even before we get into the brand, that I'm kind of interested in, because you talked about it a little bit in high school. Where did your interest in like fashion or creativity like come from, do you think? And like when was the first like memory that like you have of like God having that be like a part of your life or an interest for you?
Man, that's a great question, really. I want to say in middle school, really, and just I think it became an interest because I used to just see people on television, right? Just like you see the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you see Will Smith just fresh and like always had the freshest, sickest J's, sickest outfit, and so I kind of was drawn to that because I grew up in a Nigerian household, and my parents had no idea with what it was like to like grow up here. So the TV was my frame of reference with how to engage with culture, right? So I was like, okay, this is how I engage with culture. It's like through fashion and through that stuff, right? And I grew up in the church as well. So I guess with my brand, how I was able to do it was I was basically colliding both worlds, right? With church culture and just the culture that I was a part of, right? And bringing it together, right? But I wanted to do it in a new, fresh way, not in a cliche, corny way. So the way I was able to do that was you had to challenge yourself and not put things that are just wouldn't translate to the world, right? Where we as believers, we might understand it, we might get it, but it wouldn't mean anything to people who aren't believers, right?
Yeah.
So our task was like, okay, how can we put these messages out there, which it can connect with people who's never going to step foot in the church, right?
Yeah.
And they could wear this shirt to a party, right? To a club. They could wear it to a basketball game or to a concert, and it can they can start conversations. They can ask questions, and now they can be introduced to the gospel. They can be introduced to what we believe, right? And that's just really been the heart behind it.
So I know you've mentioned a couple times brand. I'm sure everybody's like, what brand are you guys talking about? So is it Elion? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, Elion. Yeah.
Elion. So what in the world is Elion? What does that even mean? Is that even in English? Just give us a little bit of background of the brand.
Yeah, so Elion in Hebrew, it means the Most High, right? And we like to say once we're connected to the Most High, you become more creative. We should be able to mirror what God's creation, right? Because we believe that God is the best creator, right? Because He created the heavens and the earth. It's a masterpiece. And a sidebar, I feel like we're meant to enjoy creation, right?
Yeah.
I think sometimes we forget to do that. If you're having a bad day, you can't look at the sun and the beautiful sunsets and it's going to impact your mood. You're going to feel great, right? You're going to feel like you're going to be in awe of God. And once you're in awe of God, it's going to change your perspective, right? And I think that should also inspire us to create more and do things at a higher level because we're connected. We have a cheat code. We're connected to God.
Yeah.
So that's our cheat code. That's where our source should be. So that's where we like to get our source from, where we create. And and Elion is like, it means in Hebrew, the Most High. So
yeah, I love it. And then because I love that you brought this up before the podcast. Where did the name come from? What sparked that? Because this is amazing.
Yeah. So I love Cross Movement. I'm not sure if you guys know, is a rap group from the 90s and early 2000s. And for me, I like to listen to music, get just my creative juices flowing as well. So I was listening to this album, Heaven's Mentality by Cross Movement. Check it out. YouTube, whatever, right? So I was listening to this. I listened to albums 100 times, mind you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm listening to the album again, and I was multitasking, doing some stuff. Then I hear a chorus, and the chorus goes like this. And excuse my singing ability because it's terrible.
It's all good.
But
it's all good.
It goes like, "There's nobody fresher than the Most High God. There's nobody fresher than the Most High God, King Jesus Christ." Then I was like, I heard this song so many times, but I'm like, what's the name of the song? It didn't click.
Yeah.
So I looked down, and Elion was in the title of the song. Then I was like, interesting. What does this mean? Then I Googled it, right? Then I found out that it means like the Most High God. I was like, that's it right there. That's the name of the brand. And ever since, that's just been a name.
Man, I mean, that's I think I overheard you guys. I was upstairs when you were sharing the story, so I didn't get to hear you sing the first time. So thanks for singing for us again.
Yeah, I'm terrible at karaoke.
Man,
so, yeah.
I don't understand karaoke nights. That's just me, you know?
Bro, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because up in Denton, there was, at a bar up there was karaoke every Tuesday night.
Wait,
you never saw this dude up there.
You were going to the bars?
Hey, man. I had to make sure my teammates didn't get into trouble. I was a team captain.
Welcome back to the Perspectives Podcast. But my question is, in light of that, so you have this vision, you have a brand, and this goes for a lot of entrepreneurs or just people in general, whether you're in school or whatever the situation might be. How in the world do you even get people to buy into that vision that God has given you? And I'll start with that. Yeah.
Man, that's a great question. I think people buy into the vision first by like just being your true authentic self, right? And just having relationships with people, right? Doing life with people. And once people see your heart, once the people see your authenticity, right? I suck at saying that word. I'm trying to.
It's all right, man.
Good.
Once they see that, then I feel like it's easier for them to connect with you and connect with your vision and what you're trying to do. But I think that has to happen first. You have to be uniquely who God created you to be.
Yeah.
You can't be a copy, right? Because people can see through the fake stuff, right? So I feel like that's just start right there. Who are you? Who do you feel God created you to be, right? If you don't know who that is or what God created you to be, like that's a perfect time now is to connect with Him and to walk with Him and do life with Him. And just question things and question yourself and like, what do I like? What's my purpose here, right? Then from there, that's when I feel like it could come together.
Is this something where I'm sure you probably remember the first merch that design idea that you had? You put on the shirt and you were probably telling your friends to support, and they're like, I don't know about this. Or what was that story like for you, especially with the first ones to where you start building some momentum?
As far as like, was it tough at first for support or?
Right. Okay. Like, was the idea, hey, I have this business, this design, this brand I'm trying to create. People were like, man, they want to support you, or was there some resistance, or what was that process like for you?
Well, yeah, I think my core group of friends have always been supportive, right? They given ideas. I go to them and I ask them, hey, what do you think about this, right? Because I give people permission to be honest with me. So if I show them like a design and they hate it, please tell me. Like, don't have me out here thinking the design is dope and it's like whack, right? So they've been supportive because also you're going to support it, you're going to wear it, right?
Right.
So they're definitely going to want to be honest with me because they know eventually they're going to like wear it, right? So they don't want to walk around wearing anything that isn't fresh. So I've experienced a lot of support from my core group of friends because they know me, of course, because we're friends, right? And they just been supportive in there. I think the hardest part though is getting buy-in from other people.
Right.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, I think that's probably more so where I was going with that question.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure that out. To be honest with you, like I think what's great is pre-COVID, I was able to have pop-up shops. So now we can like have conversations with people. They can come and see the stuff in person. They can see the heart and hear the heart behind it. So I think that's the best way for us to do is through like just events and stuff.
Yeah, I love that because that's something that we've been thinking about for the past like kind of couple years as we've done the podcast, as we started at Perspectives, as like we figured out like how do we cast the vision and how do we like share it to where people can connect with it and kind of join in. And I know like one of the biggest things which pairs well and importantly with like authenticity that you brought up is consistency. That's one of the biggest things God showed us is like your friends won't take what you do seriously until they see that you're taking it seriously.
There we go.
Which implies not just like the amount of work that you're willing to put in over like a short amount of time, but also like in the long term. It's something where like, I mean, I feel like I bring him up a lot, but like if you look at Joe Rogan, for instance, like not a lot of people was listening to his first like 500 episodes of his podcast. But after that, like that's where things started to pick up and like where he was naturally going to just kind of fit the natural way that like the culture was kind of going with long form conversations. But yeah, it is something that as you're wanting to start something out, like both sharing the heart and the vision behind it is such a key thing, but then also staying committed to like what you're doing is like such a big thing. And I mean, it seems like you're kind of doing that.
And that's a great point right there because even before I started it, I told myself, if I'm not okay with this taking 5 to 10 years to get to where I want it to be, then maybe I shouldn't do it, right? But if I am okay with it, then go ahead and do it. Because like you said, it's a process. I think a lot of us, we don't understand that it's a process, right? That, like you said, it takes consistency, right? You have to, it's trial and error. And it might take a while for you to get to where you want it to be. And I think with social media, we can see people's like highlight reels and we can see their present. And we think like, wow, they were able to do it so easily. It wasn't the case because a lot of us, we don't show like the low reels. We don't show when the times we want to give up, when we want to quit. We don't show where like we see other people's work and their work is so much better than ours, or it looks better, I guess, or it appears better, and it gets way more notoriety. We don't tell people that, right? But these are things that we battle with. But like you said, consistency. Then eventually your friends are going to honor that, and they're going to tell other people about it. Then they're going to tell other people about it. Then you create communities around it, right? And that's when the magic happens, right there.
Exactly. And then I think something else that was good that you brought up was, in short, the idea of like you not wanting to have like yes men around you. Like it's something that I think I struggle with it. And I mean, a lot of people do is like, we can be so stubborn that we just want to have people around us that are just like, hey, yes, in everything that you're doing. And I mean, obviously there's room for encouragement and pushing people forward. But at the same time, it's like you need the people there to correct you in love. Yeah. And I think it's something that, I mean, part of that is because of our culture's misunderstanding with love in terms of just thinking it's just acceptance or just affirmation or like whatever words you want to throw in there, but not having that corrective part of it of caring for the person, not just in their short term and how they feel, but in the long term and how it's going to benefit them and going forward.
So real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've often heard, if I'm saying this incorrectly, somebody please correct me. They said that comparison is a thief of joy. Is that the right quote? So how do you go about...
Good job, Pastor.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I studied all my pre-podcast notes to make sure I had it right. I don't have any notes. I just go off of. Anyways, so yeah, how do you go about, and that's something you kind of mentioned, how do you go about making sure that, you know, in social media where they figured out a way to target us, you know, with advertisements and things like that. So as a creative, And in the position that you're in, how do you go about making sure that you're not just comparing yourself with every small thing and you stay with your process and your timeline?
Man, that's great. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very tough. You see a new amazing clothing line every day. You see a new amazing everything every day, right? But for me, I like to channel that or take that. Like, wow, this is amazing. This is dope. I can learn from this, right? So for me, it's perfect because now I get to see like where everybody's doing amazing.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I get to learn from it. I see. Sometimes we look at it as intimidation, but like, no, I'm not intimidated by it. I feel like this is great. Now I can pivot. I like to say we watch basketball, right? You know, James Harden and the D-Wade, they do the Euro step, right? Where did they get that from? Ginobili. They could have said, man, like, Ginobili, he has this crazy move. Like, I wish I could do that. How come I didn't have that? They're like, no, like, they took that, but they made it their own. They did that. Right. They do it in their own way, right? I feel like that's how we should do it. It's like, if you see somebody doing something dope, right, do it in your own way. Like, remix it because there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
So I just think that, and like you said, like Joe Rogan, right, he's doing these long form conversations. Everybody's following suit and they're doing it in their own way, right? So I think that's what it is. It's just if you see somebody doing something dope, for one, compliment them, praise them, give them their flowers, but also like just use it as inspiration to do it in your own way.
Right.
I love that because that was literally the word that just came to my mind was like inspiration. Because I mean, you brought it up a few minutes ago in terms of like music being an inspiration for the brand, but also how there can be potentially a fine line of comparison versus inspiration. And I think that like, because both of those are almost fundamentally like looking at something else, whether it's like looking at the Holy Spirit for inspiration or like other brothers or sisters. But I think kind of as you were pointing out there, like one of the big things that is the difference maker is kind of contentment. And I mean, I think you brought this up in, I think it was the Pat podcast of like godliness with contentment is great gain or great joy, something on those lines. And so it's something that like being able to have confidence in knowing who you are and knowing where you are in your journey is perfectly fine. And that you don't need to be like where this other person is. And I mean, maybe through inspiration or looking at others, like the Holy Spirit can bring conviction and that, hey, like you aren't paying enough attention to like this that I want you to. And so you're not as far along as like potentially you could have been, but at the same time, he has the grace to be like, hey, like we can still get there together.
Yeah.
And so that's really interesting. I'd never thought that inspiration and like comparison had like a potential like relationship there.
Yeah. And I even just, I think it was one of the questions I asked you earlier about like just your heart to not want the brand to be, you know, about you.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the questions I was on the page, like, who is, you know, I'm sure a lot of people probably, as they listen to this, they're like, oh, you know, so tell us a little bit about that, why you made that decision to not want the brand to be just so focused on yourself and for it to be used as a tool to give glory to God.
Yeah, I wanted to focus really, like you said, be about the message, right, behind it. And I didn't want to like sell things off of my name. And I'm not trying to build up my name or, you know, be famous or, I mean, if God wants that for me, you know, by all means, but I'm not trying to build my name or anything. I want Elion to like stay on his own. I want Elion to, if I'm not around, I want other people to be able to pick up Elion and it still continue to thrive. It still continue to be like, look at Steve Jobs, like is able to, Apple is still doing amazing without him, right?
Yeah.
So I want the heart of Elion to still be there, right? But I don't need to be in the forefront for it to be amazing. Right. And I think that's it, a brand stands the test of time if it's able to go the distances without one person being the face. Yeah. I think a lot of people. I don't want to go there because I'm gonna keep it positive. I'm gonna keep it positive.
Reeling it back.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it positive, but because it could be very. It's It could be very. What's the word? Easy just to trying to build up your own name, man. To be honest with you, and we had too many people trying to do that. Right. Let's build other things up. Let's build the culture. Let's build what God is doing on earth. Right. And if God wants to bless you with your a bigger following, then all by means it's going to happen, right? But I think we should always keep the main thing, and we don't need another like celebrity, right? People they need hope, they need love. A lot of people don't know that Jesus loves them. A lot of people don't know that they're talented, that they're special. They have unique gifts inside themselves, right? They don't know that, and we have to always constantly remind people about that. We have to remind ourselves each and every day that we have what it takes, that God puts something special inside of us, because the devil's going to lie to us each and every day and tell us like, you're not good enough, you're this, you're that. We have to combat the lies with the truth, right? And I just don't want to drink my own Kool-Aid and make it seem like I'm just this great person, right? It's like, no, I'm not. I'm just a simple, ordinary person just trying to use the gifts that God has placed inside of me. But,
and building something that's bigger than you.
Exactly.
Which I think is a key thing of like knowing. We can see what y'all think about this. It's a key thing of knowing if something is rooted in pride or if something is like genuinely spirit inspired. Because I mean, I think that's a fine line, because I think there are times where like a brand is built off of someone's name, like Billy Graham Ministries or whatever. Like God's really just trying to do great things through. But at the same time, it's like something that we should potentially have like a heart check of like, is what I'm doing like building my name or like building like the Father's name? Because that's something that was kind of big for us whenever we were, or I should say shout out to Hannah, whenever she was creating the art for the podcast, is like we didn't really want to have like our faces or anything on there. Like we want to try to keep humility at like the central thing. And from there, like if people listen and they come to know us, like cool, whatever. But at the end of the day, like we want perspectives to be something that we leave a legacy with, and is something that's able to, as you said, kind of like stand the test of time and like be longer than us. And I think it is rare to have that humility. And so like I want to encourage you in that it's like amazing to have that. And it's something that I think you've probably seen the fruit of it, but like God is helping you bear that fruit.
Man, appreciate
because of like your humility in that. And so something that I would kind of ask from there is like, what is the vision that you have for the brand in terms of like the vision that God's given you, or where you'd love to see it go? And that could be a couple years from now, 10 years from now, wherever, because you've talked a lot about, you know, building that community, sharing the message of like the gospel and different things like that with people. Is there anything in specific that you'd like to see it kind of go towards?
And
if not, that's perfectly fine.
That's a great question. I would say I really want to impact culture, to be honest with you. Cool. What does that look like? I guess I want to see people who didn't grow up in the church, right? Who probably aren't connected to the church, wearing like these messages of hope and love and just spreading these messages, right? And I want to just see something like that, where we're seeing a collide of these messages. Like, I don't know, like I love bringing different cultures together, and it's hard for me to explain it and put it into words, but I just want to like have like a culture clash, right? And I'm not sure how that looks like, to be honest with you. I'm still dealing with that, but I do want to have events in the city again, and where you're having just a whole bunch of just different people from different walks of life, and I don't know, like they're wearing things, like I said, going in the world, and they're wearing things that reminds them of themselves, right? We have a shirt that says "to die for," right? And if you look at it from face value, you probably, if you're not a believer, you probably, it's like a double entendre. I love double meanings, right? So for us, you know, to die for us from believers, like, okay, we're to die for. Christ loves us so much that he died for us, right? If you're not a believer, you probably look at it, okay, that's pretty cool. It's like, okay, I think I'm to die for, right? Or I think this is to die for. But the person had it right the first time. You are to die for, but do you know who died for you, right? And it's just having like that double meanings and having these things out there. And our new collection, You Can't Love God and Ignore the Earth, right? we wanted to address something that we felt like is going on, with as far as, which is like a kind of controversial issue, like climate change, global warming, and whatnot. And we wanted to like address it as far as God created us to have dominion over the earth, right? Mm-hmm. So as us having dominion over the earth, we had to steward God's creation and take care of it. And no matter what we believe political, right, we can agree that God put us on here on earth to have dominion, so we need to be better stewards, right? Mm. So we wanted to just drive home that message, like, okay, let's start thinking about our day to day when it comes to like sustainability, and because I saw an image when COVID happened, right, and I think it was India and LA when COVID happened. Everybody was on lockdown. Like the pollution, they saw the before after. Before, when there's like it's like polluted, you couldn't see anything. Then once everybody was on a lockdown, you could just see like this clear skies. It's like, wow, we really are doing a lot to this environment, right? But yeah, just trying to push the we saw that, we're like, let's talk about this, let's address that. So yeah, bring it like two things together. But yeah.
One question that I asked you when we were actually on the phone, you get on Instagram and you see the different Christian apparels, and it's just like God, Jesus, something random, and so how do you? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but how do you, I guess, do more than just that and still have a message of God, Jesus? Like you said, having those double entendre on your shirts and hoodies and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's just we wanted to challenge ourselves not to go with like the easy thing, right? Because we know that if you put certain words on a shirt, it's going to like do well with like a certain demographic. But we're not trying to like just do well just for the sake of doing well. And we're just trying, like we said, we're trying to like have shirts that have meaning, that is going to push the culture forward, that's going to start conversations. You could go somewhere and somebody could be like, hey, I like your shirt. What does that mean? Now you're starting a conversation with somebody that you don't even know, and who knows where that can go, right? So that was really our heart behind that, is we want to not just do things that are cliche, but we want things that people could wear. They could wear like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and can still have meaning in it and stuff. But like, just we want to challenge ourselves to be more creative and not go for the easy, just quick, easy thing just to sell a T-shirt.
But yeah, I mean, I like it because you're really going towards like symbolism in your art there and your creativity, and it's something that as I've gotten more interested into like films and movies, that I've been able to see a lot of that like recently, and that people who were gifted in creativity are able to essentially embed these like different levels of messages for people, like depending on their audience. And so whether it's like people who just want to watch, like, I keep on bringing this up, but I have to.
Inception or
no, Godfather.
Oh, Godfather.
Like people can watch The Godfather, just be like, hey, like this is an amazing movie. Like, oh my gosh, specifically part 2, like potentially one of the best movies ever made. Be like, oh, this is an amazing movie, like beautifully shot, whatever. But then if you dive down one layer deeper, it's just like, oh goodness, like you're dealing with morality a lot here in terms of like what the main character was doing and Michael Corleone, and like some of the decisions that he made, and like some of the people that he kind of like killed and chopped off. Like I don't know if I can go with this, and and I was so rooting for him in like the first movie, and now the second one he's gone a little bit too far, and so then you do get down a layer deeper. It's just like, oh wait, well, what does that say about my judgment? Like, can my judgment skills kind of be thrown off, or like, do I know people whenever like I think I know them, but not really? And so like, I love things that are like that, and embedding different sorts of message like in your creation. And so whether that's through a shirt, whether that's through like writing, whether it's whatever, it's amazing, and it's something that I think only the Holy Spirit can bring about. I think a couple things. The Holy Spirit can only bring about that intentionality in placing, it's going to be unique, like the love into your work, because what you're essentially doing is putting yourself into a couple different people's shoes and being like, hey, like the people who like for your To Die For shirt, who are believers, like you're putting your mind in their position, be like, okay, they'll think this. But I'm going to love other people, put them before myself and think, okay, like this potential audience, like what would they think about this in terms of those double entendres?
Yeah, there we go.
And so it's interesting. I love it. And I have such an admiration for people who are able to do that and who God's gifted to do that, because like I don't feel like I'm able to do that too much. I think it's rare. And so the people who are able to steward that well, like it's just amazing.
Now, I think you guys are doing it right here with perspective, to be honest with you. I think you guys are putting yourselves in other people's shoes and y'all having these conversations so a lot of people can hear it. I think y'all are already doing it, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. I was like feeling down. I was about to walk off the set and go somewhere else. But man, last question in terms of Elion. Do you have any testimonies or just stories that stands out to you where somebody might have approached you like, man, this really impacted me? Maybe it was at a pop-up shop or just a conversation you had with a friend or somebody on Instagram or anything.
Man, so there's a few people who reached out and they were saying how they went through a dark year and how our shirt, it was The Devil Thought He Had Me. Like that shirt like connected to them because they went through such a dark year where they talked about like they attempted like committed suicide and that was on their mind, and they were saying how that shirt really represented the season that they were going through and how the devil thought they had him or her and they were able to escape it and get out of it, and that shirt just like a testimony of like God had me the whole time. And it's just mind blowing just to like hearing that and stuff, and definitely want to hear more messages like that. And yeah, that's what we do it for. Because like, to be honest with you, I'm not trying to like just make money off of like a brand. Like that's not what I got into it for. I'm really trying to impact people's hearts, impact culture, and that's really the goal behind it.
Yeah, man, I love it. And so as we move on to the next segment, I'll just say for the brand, like, yeah, keep it up, dude.
Man, thank you.
Like it's dope to see. And I mean, we only met today. I mean, y'all have been talking a little bit over social media and all that kind of stuff. And so just seeing God's hand on that, like so evidently, which is a cliche thing, but like I'm trying to be genuine in it. Like it's real, bro. Man, and so just keep going. And thank you. Something else that we wanted to give you the opportunity to talk about is 2 or more.
Yes, sir.
Kind of group here in the DFW area. So any opening kind of things you wanted to share about that and then go from there?
Yeah, so me and my co-founder Tyrell, we met at a venue, which is a young adult service here in the area. And we were just like friends for a few years, just like kicking it. Then I like came to him, I was like, bro, let's start like a men's group. Like, and he was like, bro, you know, that's crazy. God has put that on my heart too. So we kind of like, okay, this is a God thing. So we just started it. And the reason why we wanted to have it, because we felt like there wasn't a lot of spaces for men to come and talk about life issues and talk about how do I become a better husband? How do I become a better father, right? Brother, leader in the community from a God perspective, right? And we were just seeing like for me, because I moved back to Dallas, so I was trying to get connected with people. And when I was in a church, it was just hard for me to connect with other men because a lot of other men weren't really involved in church. Like there was like a lot of women involved, but when it comes to church, it's like sometimes I feel like guys are only there because their girl or their mom is fortunate to go. So we wanted to create that space to where we can like change culture to where it's like men, where we wanted men to be a part of church, not because somebody was forcing them to go, because they wanted to be better for themselves but also have a connection with God on their own and not somebody else's relationship, right? Yeah. So that's really what's the heart behind it, and just wanted to have a space to where a lot of us are hurting, man. Like, and we feel like we had to just carry this burden on ourselves, and if we open up and tell people we're hurting, it's like it makes us less than a man. I remember this one time where one of my friends, one of my homegirls, they were moving to like their apartment, and they asked me to help them bring this big TV and carry it up to the apartment. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit struggling with it, but I had it. Then she was like, "Do you need help?" And the man in me, I was like, no, I don't need help. I got this. Like, how dare you ask me if I need help, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to take that help because it's like I didn't want to seem weak. But the wise thing would have been like, bro, it's not that big of a deal. Just ask her to help you out a little bit. Of course, you could probably do it on your own, but do you really want to risk hurting your back just so you could prove a point? I think the same thing is when it comes with man, when we go through life, people are asking us, how you doing, bro? Oh, I'm doing good. I'm fine, right? But we're not really opening up and telling the real what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Because we want to we feel like we got it, right? But sometimes we don't have it, and we want to create a culture to where it's okay for you to open up and let somebody know, man, right now I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Like right now, I thought my life was gonna go this way, but I'm not sure where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And I need God. I need you to pray for me too, bro. Like, please keep me in your prayers. Like, where you could be real and authentic. I'm dealing with this right here. Like, I have a lot of greed in my heart. I have a lot of lust in my heart. I have a lot of selfishness in my heart. And having brothers you could share that with. And I think a lot of us, we don't have that sometimes. And we wanted to create that space to where guys could come and just be their true, authentic self. We like to say, leave your title at the door, because we don't care if you're like the president or so. We don't care if you're an executive. Like, we just want you to come here, just be one of the guys, right? And just connect with one another. And yeah, that's the heart behind it.
Man, that's crazy. I think that's going to lead us into a great conversation. But before I get to that, what is, it seems like God has just put leadership upon you and your friend as well. How, obviously at that point you're dealing with, men that might be married. I'm not sure if you're married presently or not.
Not yet.
Let me not say that.
But pray for me. I need a wife.
I got you, bro. I got you.
You pray for us.
Trust me, we give shout outs on the podcast all the time.
It's crazy because my dad just asked me today, like, when are you getting married?
Oh, I get that every week.
I was like, tomorrow. I was like being smart. I was like, tomorrow. Because I'm like, please, like, stop. If I knew, I'll let you know.
Yeah. African parents, it's like a daily thing for them. But, in light of, leading married men, some that are older than you, man, how have you been dealing with that? Like, having leadership just thrust upon you in that aspect.
That's a great, man. I never thought about it that way, right? I think what's good about it is, well, Tyrell, he's married, so. But what's great about it is we don't come from a standpoint that we know everything, right? Because we don't. Like you said, I'm not married. I don't have kids. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. So we're just creating the conversations, right? So when we have conversations, anybody can create a conversation. And now everybody gets to learn. Everybody gets to participate. Right. So it's not, we like to say two more is not mine or Tyrell's. It's everybody's a part, because now we can have these conversations. And I feel like conversations are better when everybody has a say, and not when it's like one or two people who are the higher ups and stuff. We just drive the conversation and moderate the conversation, we like to say.
Yeah, I love that. And so then, what are some of the things that y'all did to kind of create trust and build momentum from the start? Because it's something that we've been trying to figure out. We were thinking about it from like the perspective of like a retreat at first. And we talked with like Chi about that, for instance. But we've also thought about it just from the standpoint of like a community and creating like a group and a family in a way. So what was some of those things y'all did at the start or towards the start?
Yeah, we had like meetups, right? So sometimes we will go like, hey, let's go on a hike, right? So we will go on a hike and we'll invite bros out there, and we're going hiking, we're having conversations. And I find when you have conversations with, it's so simple, like, right? When you have conversations with people, you share your heart and you're authentic and real, it gives them permission to do the same, right? Then that's when connections start to create and bonds happen out of it, right? And we just have different avenues where men can meet. We go bowling, we play basketball. Some are good, some are not, but it's cool, right?
Yeah.
We had worship experiences, worship nights where we come. That was co-ed though, but yeah, we've done that. There's been people who've met there and they created short films, which is amazing. There's people who meet there and there's a brother who was trying to become an author, trying to publish a book, and he met somebody who was doing the same thing, and now he was able to do that. So there's a lot of gift exchanges there, right? Mm-hmm. People are meeting people who are helping them out and networking, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's how you build trust, because we're building a community. We have a group chat as well where people are able to just talk about certain things. Recently, one of our members, he tragically lost like his uncle and his father like through COVID, but we were there to be there for him and support him in there. You know, he had brothers going to war with him.
Right.
Also, there was a kid who was 18. He got kicked out of his house, and we were able to step up and provide a little bit shelter for him for a week and get him back on his feet. And we were able to pray for him, and he accepted like Christ into his heart, right? Wow. And so like there's a lot of things like that that people see that like, okay, these guys are about it, and we're not trying to do this just for a show. We're trying to change people, and well, not change people. We're trying to impact people, I should say, right? And we need more people to like, how can I say this? We just want to be there for people and create community, because that's what we need the most is community. People want to be seen, right? They also want to be known and feel like they have a place to where people like know them. So yeah, I think that's how we were able to do it. Really just creating space for people to come and connect.
Yeah, love it.
Have you guys been dealing with the challenges that COVID has brought? All of us,
man. So it's been pretty tough as far as, because we haven't been able to meet in person. But I think what the great thing about it is we've grown because of it too. Because now we have people, because now we were limited to just Dallas. But now we're doing virtual meetings through Zoom. So we have people it's crazy. We have people from Nigeria who like call in, Florida, New York. We have people from Wisconsin. Excuse me. So now we're like national and global, actually, and which is dope. We've been able to grow from there. I think the issue we're going to experience is like, okay, once things go back, how are we going to do it? Like, are we going to we might do a hybrid, because I don't think we're ever going to go like just full time like in person, because we have a lot of brothers who need it, who are in different cities. One thing that kind of like touched my heart was we had our 4-year anniversary event here in November, and 2 of the brothers who we were connected with in Wisconsin, they flew in to be a part. And I was like, wow, for these brothers to fly in to be a part of this, and we never met them before this. Yeah. It's like, okay, we're doing something. We're reaching, we're touching people, and we're impacting people. And there's been times we want to give up. And so 2 or more comes from Matthew 18:20, right? Where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, like he is there. Yeah. And the first few Fridays we would meet, it would just probably be me and Tyrell. And it was kind of frustrating because, like, God, like, what's going on? Like, this is a Friday night. I'm single. I could be out here, like, hanging out, doing my thing. But we had to realize, like, we named it 2 or more for a reason. So there's 2 people here. Okay, well, you got what you named it. So just be faithful. And eventually we grew from like 10 a week to 20 a week. Then before COVID, it was like 40 guys on a Friday. Are you kidding me? 40 guys on a Friday talking about how we become better men and devoted to Christ and these topics. And God has been bringing people in, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, I love it. We asked the same question for Elion, but where do you see this going, 2 or more, in terms of, like, you think it's going to be an organization in and of itself someday, just something that you want to keep a little bit more grassroots and more of an initiative, just to kind of keep the heart there, or what you think?
We want to equip man, right? So we want to do workshops and conferences to where we're equipping man with resources, with how to like handle finances, right? Investing, but also we want to talk about like taking care of your health, like fitness, eating right? These educating men in these topics in these areas.
Tacos every Thursday.
There you go. Yeah, and leadership. So I think these are conversations that that we should be leading as men of God, right? And we have a lot of men of God who are in these fields who we want to like just come in and help us facilitate and to give their time and resources and just to equip these guys out here because it's needed for a lot of us, really. And especially we're going to be future heads of households. Also, there's people who are heads of households right now who probably need help as well. And that's our heart right there, is to have men's conferences and just to equip one another with that.
Man, it's so crazy how you can just decide to do something and then there's those initial moments where you don't see nothing happening.
Yeah.
But, God encourages you just to be consistent.
Yeah.
And then one day you just open your eyes and you're like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah.
Right. But it's something in the kingdom of God where Jesus gives this parable where this guy goes out and sows seed and he goes to sleep. When he wakes up, there's just plenty of stuff everywhere. It's like, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Sometimes God does that and we're just amazed. We don't know how it happened, how he did it, but he just causes things to increase. So, man, that's awesome that you guys are impacting men in community in such a powerful way and just being faithful to that. I mean, I hadn't heard about it until you mentioned it, so that's amazing. We definitely will have to come check it out, one of these Fridays.
Yeah. Also, another part of it, we want to have spaces, and my bad to cut you off.
You're good.
To where people are having tomb wars in like their respectable cities, right, wherever they're at, right, which would be pretty dope. We just give them the guide, and they can host their own like meetings. And if you're in Connecticut, Kentucky, you could do it there, which would be pretty cool. So
Yeah, because I think that'll help y'all's sustainability thought in terms of like, how do we help your boy over in Nigeria, or up in New York, Wisconsin, things like that. That's really good.
Yeah, what I was going to ask, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
We're not cutting people off. This is a conversation.
We'll edit that part out. I'm joking. I just did it on purpose. So earlier we were talking about sports, so that's how I transition out of things. I'm sorry. So we're talking about sports. So tell me about the NBA Finals a little bit. Them boys in Brooklyn, they're looking pretty good. The Nets, AD is kind of hurt right now, so my Lakers, I'm a LeBron fan, so I just follow him wherever he goes. We're struggling a little bit right now with that AD. So who's your team? Who are you going for? And things like that.
I'm a Mavericks fan, so.
What? Mavericks?
MFFL for life, Maverick fan for life.
Feel that. Luka Magic.
Luka.
Why did you bring up Brooklyn? Like, out of everything, why Brooklyn?
Bring up who?
Brooklyn.
Well, I mean, they're a good team.
Who in this room is from New York?
I don't know.
Like, I understand Lakers.
Maybe our listeners are from New York. I have no idea.
We got some up there. So, I mean, shout out to y'all if y'all are in New York. And
shout out to New York,
fans.
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
y'all
shout out to you guys.
Probably having a good time right now.
Yeah.
But nah. So what other sports? What else do you like?
But if my Mavericks don't make it, I'm sorry. I hope the Nets win.
Full circle.
The Nets.
But yeah, I'm a diehard 49er fan.
Really?
Like, that's my team. Like, that's my favorite team on earth. Like,
What?
Yeah.
How?
I'm gonna explain it. So,
you're gonna explain that one.
So, of course, my name is Jeremiah, but my nickname is Jerry. And Jerry Rice, the best football player ever, best receiver ever. I'm not sure who Randy Moss is, but I know who Jerry Rice is, right? So that's my favorite. So ever since then, I've been a huge, like how you go where LeBron goes. Well, for me, I went where Jerry Rice was, but I stayed there though.
I was about to say, so you an Oakland Raider fan?
Yeah. So, but I stayed with the Niners. So we were supposed to go back again this year, but a lot of things happened. Hopefully, we get a new quarterback. But,
I might need a new quarterback. I might try for the team. Man, tell us a little bit about fashion, man. Fashion is such an interesting industry. I think I hate nothing more than when I see those people on what is it called?
Runways?
The runways wearing these ugly things, and it's supposed to be fashion. And it's like, if you don't know about this, then you don't know about it. I'm just like, what? It looks ugly. So tell us a little bit about fashion, man. What I'm curious about is, because Alex, our boy over here behind the mic, shout out to Alex.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let me go unless I asked about fashion. So I actually saw on his personal page, he was dropping some heat. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Oh, man, where do you get some of your inspiration from? Is there people, or is it just you just wake up like, I'm feeling this and we put it on?
Man, that's great. I think with fashion, it's just like the mood I'm in, right, and how I'm feeling, and I like to like dabble in a lot of things as far as like I like streetwear, I like high fashion, I like suits, so I love like just bits and pieces, and it just shows. I think I said it earlier. I'm not, but fashion is the way for you to speak for yourself without you saying a word.
Yeah.
Right. So if you look good, you feel good.
Yeah.
It just gives you a little bit more confidence, right? And that's what I just like about it. And I'm not gonna lie. One of my love languages is words of affirmation. So I love hearing that, compliments. Like, you look good, you look good. It's like, okay, I like that. So
I love it.
So I like hearing that too, and being complimented from it.
That's
but
real.
Yeah, it's just another way of just being creative, really,
Yeah.
and just putting clothes together.
Yeah.
I think that's what the one ray is. I think they know that a lot of these outfits aren't going to be worn in public.
Yeah.
But it's just them just trying to show the creativity, or just show like, okay, you can wear this pieces like this, and so I think what it's like. But I don't really have any. I don't really have any. Kanye West, of course, that's my guy. I'm a huge Kanye West fan, so probably inspiration from there. But as far as personal fashion, nobody really and stuff.
So then, okay, because your boy needs some help.
Yeah.
Some suit stuff.
Okay.
Because I only have 3 suits up there.
Okay.
I've had probably 8 weddings I've had to go to over the past, year or so now. And I've pretty much worn the same suit to everything. So what are some suit recommendations?
Man, okay.
For whatever. I don't even know the terms. Just give me something.
I'll tell you, like, the best place to get a suit, in my opinion, is J. Crew.
Okay.
Because they have the style. It's affordable, and the cut and everything is just like, I love J. Crew suits. The quality too is perfect, right? But if you wanted to go with, you're on a budget, you can always go to, I guess, like TJ Maxx, or you go like thrifting for like a suit. You can make any suit look good. All you gotta do is take it to the tailor, and they can tailor it up, right? So I would say that too. If you're on a budget, probably go to the thrift store, or go to like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and probably get like a suit that's good quality, but then take it to the tailor and have them like, do their magic, right?
Okay.
But what else? Club Monaco. Well, no, Club Monaco, they don't really have suits, but I would say J. Crew. Nordstrom's has good suits. Suit Supply as well. Okay. But that's going to cost you a little pretty penny. But since you have like all your friends are getting married, I'm in the same boat too.
Yeah.
Right? So I go to, you have to make your penny stretch.
Yeah.
Just go to those places, and top man used to have good one, but I know their quality kind of went down because now they're with ASOS. Mango, that's another place. I have a lot of like just brands that I shop at. And
So then, something else, kind of a tangent, because this is the biggest thing. This can maybe be a sidebar. We can maybe cut this out.
Okay.
Probably not, because other people probably need this. This boy Josue over here.
I'm nervous about what you're going to say.
Because the biggest thing that annoys me about suits, well, mainly just button-up shirts that you tuck in, is how in the back, like there's like all the fabric just gets stuck back there, and it looks like you're sticking a balloon back there.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not have that happen? Like, how do you prevent that? Like, because the only thing I've seen is like buying these straps that you like hook onto the bottom of your shirt that go to your ankle. I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Like, that seems like too much effort. So, like, how does this work?
You talking about for the suit jacket?
For the button-up shirts.
Button-up shirts.
Ooh, like, basically, when you tuck them into the suit pants.
No, it's not long enough.
Not long enough.
But basically, like, after a while, it gets to where, like, there's a whole bunch of, like,
I see what you mean.
Fabric scrunched up back there.
Yeah.
So, like, how...
You might have to tailor it.
You can tailor a shirt?
Yeah, you can tailor it. Yeah. They can take it in and stuff. Yeah.
Bro. So... We'll need to talk about this afterwards, because I've never heard of that. I love it.
You have to be careful though, because reason why I say careful, because do you lift weights? Do you work out like that?
He does, yes. I answer for him, yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, not like you, because but a little bit.
Because like if you tailor it, you have to make sure you stay that same size, because if you get bigger,
that's the thing about
it's
tailoring.
It's gonna be hard to fit it. So you have to be careful.
That's the thing. I'm trying to go the other way. I need to lose another like 10 pounds to get back to what I was in college. So actually, probably only 5 at this point.
You might be a little bit good then if that happens. But
yeah.
Because I know for me, there's like a lot of shirts I used to like 5 years ago that I used to like wear, but I can't wear it anymore because I got a little bit more mass.
Yeah. Man, what kind of shoes should I be looking out for? I'm into shoes. It's my boy Alex. That's my shoe plug over there. He be hooking me up. So, what kind of shoes should I be looking out for?
What? So you want like all purpose? Do you want like something that's gonna like kill the game?
Kill the game.
Kill the game.
Yeah. I'm trying to kill the game.
Yeah.
I want compliments too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
See.
Yeah.
They got some new Yeezys coming out.
Yeah.
The new 350s they're coming out. Also, there's some 750s coming out this weekend.
Yeah.
700s. That'll be pretty cool. Yeah. But these shoes are so hard to get nowadays.
They are. Yeah. The box. So it's like
you gotta pay like a pretty penny just to. That's why I like these type of shoes to where like it's not a lot of hassle to get into, but it's still like it's affordable and it still looks good. I mean, I still love Yeezys and stuff, but like I don't like to pay like $200 over retail. Like it's just
it's
I'm
doing
still
too
trying
much, right?
Yeah. But they got some new J's coming out that they're like some ones and April 17th. They're like the cloud. They're like it's pretty dope. They're like light blue. So those are coming out. I forgot the name of them, but
it's shaped like a cloud.
No, not shaped like a cloud. It's like it has like a cloud.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh,
I got you.
Okay. It's like it has a cloud design. Yeah.
But I mean, you never know nowadays.
Nah.
Like with some of the garbage can stuff that they're coming out with at like fashion shows, like literally just putting garbage bags around. It's just like, who knows? But whatever.
Trendsetters. Man, wow.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah.
See, tailoring a dress, like I learned something.
Yeah.
Granted, I learned a lot of things, but I'm going to take that one to the bank.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
You can tailor just about anything, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I got 2 weddings to go to this weekend. I need to go find a suit.
So like that happened to me too, where I had 2 weddings on the same day. So I had to like travel between each one and act like I was in 2 places at one time.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna do as well?
Nah, hopefully one's on Friday, the other one's on Sunday.
Okay,
so
that's perfect.
Kind of gives me some time to
see, I had the same thing happen in December. Shout out to Kenny and Nicole and John and Annie. See, your effort is something else. Because I was just like, I'm not doing that. I'm just same suit, whatever. Like, if people want to make fun of me, whatever, I don't care.
No, I wore the same suit. I was just like traveling. I'll go to one, they go to the other, they go back, they go back. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's commitment. Yeah.
I thought you had 2 different suits.
Oh, no.
Because they were just like, okay.
Yeah,
hey,
I'm a little bit lazy with that one.
No. So bravo to you for going to both.
Yeah.
Because it's something else. So you got anything else for your boy?
Man, we appreciate you coming through.
Man, thanks for having
just
me.
being able to make this connection and just staying in touch and seeing what God is doing here. I mean, it's something I was actually thinking about, in terms of perspective. We bring on different people, from creatives to musicians to just variety of people. But one thing that's common in all these conversations that we have is we hope that people are able to see God in the individuals that we bring, and also just seeing how God uses different people in various ways. So it kind of challenges that mindset of, for God to use you, you have to be literally in the church like a pastor or something, right? So seeing that God can use you to be creative in terms of apparel business in the industry. God can use you to be creative to, be a comedian or whatever the situation might be. God can use you in different ways, and you're still doing ministry. So, go ahead.
That's so perfect. I think we forget that, right?
Yeah.
That God can use, like we sometimes we put limits on God, right? It could be simple as if like, are you a barista, right? Now just show people what it would look like for Jesus to be a barista, right? Or teacher. So now we should see what it looks like for Jesus to be a teacher, right? Just be a representation on who he is on earth. And it's simple as that. And like you said, just using the gifts and that he's given to us. I love the space you guys are creating, man. Like it's amazing. It's dope. And really honored and blessed to like just be a part and just be here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm definitely getting some we'll talk about that after this.
Man, we appreciate you coming out because traffic sucks coming out here.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Anything or any last things you want to share for Elion or 2 or more, and then let people know where they can find it.
Man, yeah. We have a hat coming out soon, which I'm excited about. Then we're going to have our spring, summer collection drop I want to say like in April, Mayish, right? And with two or more, we're every Friday, the first and third Friday of the month. If you're a fella, come out, join us. Ladies, if you know a fella who needs to be a part, send them us. And you can find us on Instagram. It's 2TWO or more, right? On Instagram. And for Elion, it's LY. LELYON. I can't spell. Dot,
Good.
dot co on Instagram. So yeah, hit us up there. Definitely love to connect with you guys. But yeah, we love that.
Yeah, man, love it. We'll keep it going. We'll partner up with two or more in perspectives with some events, and
that'll be amazing.
Hopefully some fun things coming around the corner that we talked about beforehand.
And maybe some Taco Thursdays.
Let's make that happen.
Let's make it happen. Yeah. I love it. So that'll be a wrap for us today. Jeremiah, thanks again for coming out, man. It was great. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll link all of Elion's and Two or More's and Jeremiah's information in the description. If you'd like to go support them, go check out their clothes, go check out the group, anything like that. We'll also link all of our information in the description if you want to support the podcast, support the outreaches, support all the fun stuff going on with Perspectives. So until next time, much love. God bless.